If in the middle of the night someone would wake you up and tell you to recall one of the most disappointing events in the gaming world of recent years, what would it be? As far as I'm concerned, this would be the first presentation of gameplay of the hero of today's episode. It cannot be denied that the previous generation of consoles imprinted in the minds of players believed there are no exclusive games on Microsoft platform, and the flagship titles could be numbered on the fingers of one hand. Therefore, the loudly announced presentation of Halo Infinite, a game that is to become a system seller at the premiere of Xbox Series X and S, caused quite a consternation when the pure gameplay was finally shown. After a wave of negative feedback, Microsoft decided to delay the game's release, giving 343 Industries more time to fine-tune the title. A year had passed since then and we got another presentation. It's time to look closely at the changes that have undoubtedly been made. Thanks to the scenes in the latest trailer, we can follow the evolution of the game since 2019, when the first fragments, I believe captured in-engine, premiered during the E3. The year 2020 brought us the aforementioned unfortunate presentation of a gameplay from the single-player campaign, whose involuntary star was Craig, one of the opponents sent to the oblivion with the accurate blow from the elbow. This year was much richer in moments when fans could experience the new version of Halo. The presentation of this year's E3, closed beta as well as yesterday's presentation. These are quite a lot of news from the Master Chief's headquarters. Let's start with a direct comparison of 2019 build with the latest recording. Here you can clearly see that the extra time was not wasted. In the presented scenes, almost every aspect has changed, from character models through their details, lighting, extensive animations such as facial expression, extra details on models like in case of Master Chief's armor. All this makes the whole thing more believable now. After all, Master Chief spent some time in space and the sterile armor from 2019 seemed to defy it. Now, let's move to 2020. In this case, we can easily compare graphics from pure gameplay. At first glance, you can see the changes in the HUD and the interactive map. Whether they are now more readable, I leave it to your assessment. Weapon details. Here on the example of the iconic assault rifle. Richer details are not the only improvement in the look of the weapon. When you're firing a shot, light reflections now appear on the barrel. A small addition, but very important from the perspective of realism. Now let's move to the reflections. For an example in water. Both 2020 and 21 builds do not represent stunning quality in this aspect. They are rather poor, not to say more bluntly. Fortunately, a few days ago Microsoft announced cooperation with AMD as the main partner in terms of technological support for PC and the implementation of ray tracing after the release of the game. Another aspect that has been significantly improved is the lighting. When putting together few similar scenes, we can see improvements in volumetric lighting. Notice how sunlight penetrates through the branches of the trees now. Cutscenes also benefited from this, and their dense climate was improved by introducing more diffused lighting. Character models also gained in details. They look much more impressive now, however facial expressions were kept at the similar level. The footage from this year's E3 also provides an interesting look at the evolution of the game. Comparing them with the latest trailer, we can see changes that have occurred again in lighting, texture details, and Master Chief's model itself. When we follow the path the game has traveled from the announcement in 2019 through subsequent presentation and failure of last year's show to the current build, it can be seen that this journey was not without complications. Fortunately, the end result seems to be solid enough to please the fans of the brand. Another question is whether it will also satisfy the taste of people expecting the next-gen experience. What do you guys think? Share your comments in the comment section below. I'll see you next time. Cheers.